Hi, my name's Andrew. This is my co-host Luke. Welcome to this first video in Fire of the Spirit YouTube's Lenten series. Today's question is, why do Catholics fast, specifically during Lent? The Scriptures and the Church Fathers have given us 3 ways to express our interior penance. These are fasting, prayer, and almsgiving. We will be focusing on fasting today.
First, I think it's important that we answer the question, what is fasting? And according to the New Concise Catholic Dictionary, fasting is a spiritual practice and self-disciplinary process of choosing to go without eating solid foods for designated periods of time.
The word fasting comes from the Middle English festen, which means to abstain from food.
So, wait, abstain. So is there a difference between abstaining and fasting?
Actually, there is. Abstaining is refraining from meat and meat products on specific days, while fasting refers to going without all kinds of food for certain periods of time. The 2 days that Catholics are required to fast are Ash Wednesday and Good Friday.
The law of fasting allows only 1 full meal a day, but does not prohibit taking some food in the morning and evening. Something to note about the law of fast is that while it acknowledges 1 full meal, it does not further specify the quantity of some food that can be consumed in the morning and evening. You sometimes hear or read about 2 smaller meals as long as they don't add up to 1 full meal. But this isn't what the law talks about. That's not what it's saying. The some food is certainly less than a full meal, but the Church doesn't want people to scruple over precise amounts.
The law of fasting requires Catholics who have attained the age of 18 until you reach the age of 59 to fast.
Now that we've answered the question, what is fasting, I think it's important to go back to the original question, why do Catholics fast?
Well, the Catechism of the Catholic Church states, 2043, the 4th precept, you shall observe the days of fasting and abstinence established by the Church, ensures the time of ascesis and penance which prepare us for the liturgical feasts and help us acquire mastery over our instincts and freedom of heart.
So, in this case, it's a way to prepare our hearts for Easter. We have Lent to reflect on Jesus' time of fasting in the desert, as well as prepare our own hearts and better ourselves for the coming celebration of Jesus' resurrection.
Yeah. In Matthew chapter 4, verses 1 and 2, it says, Then Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness, to be tempted by the devil. And he fasted 40 days and 40 nights, and afterwards he was hungry. Even Jesus fasted. However, it's important to remember the Spirit led Jesus to fast. This helps us realize that fasting is a way to grow closer to God. Now, there are 2 important things to remember when fasting.
First, the Church's laws on fasting and abstinence are very mild. Therefore, they're a minimum. One can go beyond what they require and observe a stricter form of penitence, but they are not legally required to do so.
And second, the Church does not want us to hurt ourselves by observing penitential practices, and there are a number of exceptions to the law of fast in particular. Anyone who has a medical condition that would conflict with fasting is not obliged to observe it. For example, someone with diabetes, someone who has been put on a special diet by a doctor, or someone with acid reflux disease who needs to keep food in their stomach to avoid acid buildup.
So let's recap. Fasting is a self-disciplinary process that comes from a Middle English word that means to abstain from food.
However, abstaining and fasting are not the same. When you fast, you're only supposed to have 1 meal and some other food. You have to fast if you're between the ages of 18 and 59.
So why do we fast? The Catechism says, fasting helps us prepare for liturgical feasts and gain self-control. And the Bible reminds us that Jesus fasted and was led by the Spirit.
And we also remember that we can always fast more, but we shouldn't hurt ourselves while fasting.
And finally, we fast because it is a reminder of our weakness. When you fast, you feel weak, and it is easy to remember that we depend on God. On the other hand, fasting makes us stronger. When you fast, you're strengthening your will, so that when temptations come, you can control your desires.
Also, it's easy to fast when you focus, not on what you've given up, but on what you have and for whom you're fasting. Thanks for joining us for this first installment of Fire of the Spirit's YouTube Lenten series. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Luke. We'll see you next time.